Hello everyone, it's Kay here with a little project share for you. I've been working on these today and they're a direct inspiration from Karen Mc Clure. We seem to have the same crafting heads on at the moment. I watched Karen do these. I'd already been thinking about doing them, but I saw Karen's video and I thought, well, I'm going to carry on and do them anyway because we all do things very differently. And what I've done is used what amounts to almost a 3-inch paper clip to mount my little bits of decoration on. I did look for the larger one, but apparently we don't seem able to get them over here in the UK. And this is just such a super little thing to do. You could hand it over as embellishments in a swap. You could use it as a bag closure on something perhaps that you've made and you're sending on to someone, and they are simplicity itself. This is just a bow that I made, so if you have a bow die or you have some mode of making these, or indeed ribbon bows would do exactly the same thing. That's one of the components you need: a little bit of pearl trim or bling, a little acrylic something here just to set off the center, and 2 paper circles. I've actually used some lace trim here that I bought from Scrimping Mommy, who is now Scrimpy's Crafting Closet. No, they've changed the name. Bear with me, I just don't remember what it is, and Amanda will be so upset. It's a lovely name, it's got a closet in it, so we'll leave it at that for the moment. Old age prevails here at the minute. Anyway, getting back to these, so then you decide which end you want to place your embellishment on, and then just get ready with your hot glue gun or wet glue depending on your choice. I was fortunate enough to receive some beautiful vellum papers from Mel, and again Misty Blue was her last name. I don't know if she's changed it, but she's over on YouTube and she runs a bead store on Facebook. Lovely lady. If you don't know her or of her, then please go and check her out. She sent me these vellum papers and I just like all things delicate, so I made these little bows using my Stamping Up stamp here. And if you're looking for a Stamping Up agent or representative, I have one in my neck of the woods, but Annie Chambers on YouTube is also a lady that acts as an agent for Stamping Up, and this is such a treat to use. You get a perfect bow every time. It's expensive, I guess you might say, but it's not something that's going to fall apart in your hands, and it will go on and on for years. So that's a little plug for Annie there, Annie Chambers. She too is on Facebook, and she's also on YouTube with her own channel. And here is another one of these little paper clips that I've done using exactly the same technique, but I have used, instead of the bling, the natural dingle dangle fall of the little lace flower there, which works very nicely in a wild orchid craft flower in the centre. So I just thought I'd come on, show you what I've been up to, but also show you how to make them. So you need, these are giant paper clips. I purchased these on eBay. I think I bought 50 for under £3, which is very good, and free P&P. You'll see when you look at it, there's a little lip that uploads this way, and the base of the paper clip kind of does the same thing. So I tend to use the top part of the clip so the embellishment is freestanding. And I've punched out 2 sets of the bow, which is the requirement for this. I'm going to use the hot glue today because it's quicker, and you just form the little bow loop here with a little bit of hot glue. Hold it together to let it go off without crushing your bow shape there. I'm then going to pop another little bit on the back and on the front here, because this is pre-shaped, it wants to go the way you want it to anyway, so there's no big hassle, but do be aware that glue gets hot and it can be uncomfortable if you're not used to working with it. My hands are well used to it now. So that's the beginning of the bow, and you just choose the neatest side that you like. I then put a little bit, this is not double-sided paper, but I'm going to put a little bit on that little tongue there and place it on the center, and the same on the other side. And there you have, as promised. Whoops, if I just hold it for a moment. A practically perfect bow in every way. And then this little bit here is what you put over your little indiscretions in the center. If, like me, because I'm rushing, you're a little bit off key, you just then wrap that around like that, and it finishes off the bow really, really nicely. You can then plump it up a little bit if you so desire. I've got this back bit still not quite stuck down, but I'll get to that in a moment. Glue strands. Then my 2 circles of white card, and these are just 1/2-inch circles. I'm just going to put a little dot on the front there. Try and put my applique fairly well in the center of that. I'm then going to add another little bit of glue. You can, as I say, use wet glue if that's your preference. I would as a rule, but I want to be quick today to show you how I've put these together. And there already is a really good start to your paperclip embellishment. I then have 2 little bits of metal bling here, again courtesy of Scrimping Mommy and her closed group store on Facebook. I'm just going to put one in one side, one in the other. I've deliberately made them different lengths marginally because I think that adds to the overall effect. I'm going to press that down quite hard, because then in the center of all of that I want to place my little flat back acrylic doodad, which will sit there really, really effectively. Again, glue strands, but we can't help it when we're working with them. A hot gun gets rid of them really, really nicely at the end of your crafting session. So that's how it looks at this point, which I think you'll agree is really quite pretty and quite tasteful. I then flip that over, put it back on my work surface, and I'm just going to do a half moon very, very roughly with the hot glue, bearing in mind I want it lined up quite well. If you stand it up, the dingle dangle from the front actually tells you pretty well where you want your paper clip to land, like so. And these bits are pretty well central to the paper clip. And then on top of that I put another little dot of glue, just enough to keep it all happy and keep it together. Place that over the top, hold it gently, and this is just really to hide all the workings behind the embellishment. And there is, as quickly and as simply as that, another embellishment for whatever you decide to do with it, basically. But I thought it's such a lovely, lovely idea. It's an ideal way of getting rid of any remnants of lace that you might have, any little bits of trim that won't do a larger project. And it is very, very satisfying to see them all lined up at the end of the day, ready to be utilised in whatever way you see fit. So I'll leave that with you. I hope you found it inspiring and that it's something that you might like to try yourself. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Take care. Bye bye.